everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel, where today we've been through our recaps of Wave 1, 2 and 3, and today we are going to cover everything we missed. So previously on the custom set showcase, I split all of our LEGO Zelda custom sets into 3 distinct waves, like a release wave, like an August 1st, January 1st, and then a year 2 August 1st release wave. However, I've had some side projects over the time. I'm making a total of 16 sets, whether these be April Fools, side projects like DigiLink, or other one-offs along the way. And given that we're in the process of just proving to you guys what's a numbered set, what's a canon release, and what's just a side project for fun, I thought it's time that we go through all the kinds of chaos that you've missed over the last nearly 3 years now. And we're going to discuss them all and show you some of the most fun we've had here in the custom sets. And maybe you will have missed one, because I guarantee you 90% of you haven't seen at least one of these, and that is just because of where that set ended up, as you will see later today. So we're going to jump straight in with Z029, one of the official numbered sets between Wave 2 and 3. This one's listed as a standard one-off release, so think about how some 18 plus sets release not in the main wave of their theme. And this is the Goomba Cave from Link's Awakening. You may be going, what's that? It's not particularly iconic, and no it isn't. It is one specific room featuring Mario enemies in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is a game that did stuff a little differently. As you can see on the back of box art, you can see this is a one-for-one recreation of the first Goomba included cave, and the Goomba can slide backwards and forwards along a little trough. I actually made this set in real life, and the reason we did that was because, well, we have the figures. It's one of the few figures from the Zelda that we have in a purist form, because Goombas appeared in a Zelda game, and we have a Goomba minifigure officially listed in LEGO Mario. And that means that we were able to recreate this scene almost perfectly, just missing a Link figure, of course. And it was just a fun little different something to do, but also comes across as an interesting display piece with no value to most people, but still a pretty cool idea. That leads us into another one, which was Z030, the Hyrule Botanical Collection, once again listed as a standalone set based off Breath of the Wild. This was my pitch for expanding the Botanical Collection into the realm of fantasy, including various famous flowers from across video games, TVs and movies. However, of course, in this scenario, it is using the flowers and bits you can use as cooking ingredients in Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom into a bouquet, because there are some lovely designs, as you can see here. Not only do we have, of course, the iconic Silent Princess built at a nice large scale, but mighty thistles making use of an interesting technique, the 3 types of Safina, warm, cold and electric, swift violets and Hyrule herbs, with obviously the potential for a second expansion using a different selection of parts and plants in a sense in the future. But this represented an interesting different take on the botanical collections, and an excuse to get the iconic Silent Princesses into a set in a large form. I thought it was a neat idea anyway. Let me know what you think down below. Next up is a series of 5 sets that I produced as a standalone experiment called Wave Digi. Back in 2021, I asked myself, what if LEGO Zelda was just, well, LEGO Mario, and include an electronic figure and a very similar course or adventure building experience? And that is the theory behind Wave Digi, including electronic Link figure across a starter course and a couple of expansions exploring the Zelda universe in a square format. As you'll see, a lot of similarities between the LEGO Mario system. Let's get ourselves acquainted with the starter set, Z0031 Adventures with DigiLink. And as mentioned, this is a starter course, so you get the electronic Link figure as well as some course building elements, as you can see here, including of course the start and end pieces of every level, a boss battle, an enemy encounter, as well as some platforming challenges that we'll take a closer look at in a second. But of course the main star of the show is DigiLink. Here he is turned off, and let's get to meet him. When you turn DigiLink on, he becomes more of a friend and a little bit more alive. Let's say hello. There's a couple of things you can do to him, and as you may be familiar with LEGO Mario, he is equipped with a gyroscopic sensor and colour readers, allowing him to respond to all sorts of coloured tiles in appropriate reactions. Here we go. He can drown, burn in lava, or explore different secret dungeons by using his colour sensor, and this will all trigger unique reactions and different challenges to your level. If he gets too damaged, of course he can be knocked out. The bed, as in most Zelda games, is the starting point. Link is known to be tired, so stepping on this music will start the 60-second level timer, just like Mario. And in that 60 seconds you'll have plenty of time to perform different kind of actions and interact with the starter course and expansion, with the ultimate goal of getting to the ending pole. Let's see what happens and what music will play during our 60-second adventure.
dun da 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 dun da dun da 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 dun da dun da dun da da dun da da dun da da dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da dun.
The main interactions you'll be doing with LEGO DigiLink is interacting with enemies. Just like how LEGO Mario can stomp on Goombas, all of our enemies are based off enemies seen across the Zelda series, and naturally, they can first be knocked over. Yeah! Those actions complete and interactions and sounds heard, we can now move on to reading the barcodes, another one of DigiLink's core features. You'll see here that as we stomp on his back, we will not only collect some rupees, but we will get, well, points, which are the rupees in this game. Wonderful. Once you're done with all the challenges, it's time to move on to the end of the level. Wasn't that just delightful? This is an example of a very simple course similar to the beginning of the LEGO Mario lineup. However, I mentioned there's plenty more features to take a look at within the DigiLink system. Such as included in the starter course is this battle with Gleeok, the three-headed dragon featured in Zelda 1 and Cadence of Hyrule, and now of course Tears of the Kingdom. You'd have to defeat him by launching all three of his heads, scanning all the barcodes, and then proceeding for your reward. Very similar to the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge from the January wave of Digi Mario in 2021. As mentioned, he also has color recognition, there's platforming challenges, treasure chests to collect, and even a thing to cut grass as a more passive way of getting rupees. As mentioned, there are two characters that also appear in this set, namely the three-headed dragon Gleeok and of course a Bokoblin. But that's not all, because we also included two power-ups in the wave. We have the Zora Link power-up pack and the Champion Link power-up pack, which mostly just provide outfits for your Link. However, they also include special abilities such as Spin Attack or a specific water ability with the Zora Helm that makes you more vulnerable to fire, but can move and get more rupees in water. Not to mention providing two alternate dress-ups for Link. And yes, I'm fully aware that this is very, very cursed. We also had two expansions. First off, we had Z033, which was the Big Octo Attack expansion set, which included a couple of different elements to interact with, such as another treasure chest with a time block, a small mini encounter with an Octo, where you would slide him backwards and forwards in an attempt to wriggle him loose and then stomp on him. You've got the Dark Nut, or Iron Knuckle, I should say, to have a fight with on his shield, and you've got the King of Red Lions, which is on a turntable, meaning you can move him backwards and forwards and around to collect coins by moving a Link as if he's sailing across the ocean. As previously mentioned, we have the Iron Knuckle and the Octo here as our interactive characters, both of which with scanners. The Octo's is on its back, and you can interact and defeat these enemies as you go through your course, and add a nice bit of variety to this square LEGO Link system. Lastly, for the DigiLink sets, we had Z035, the Ganon Castle Boss Battle Expansion set, 587 pieces. This is of course designed to be the sort of flagship of the set and lacks almost any structural integrity and interest. Here you can see there's a big platform to recreate the NES battle with Ganon from Zelda 1, another treasure chest, probably with a secret Triforce inside, and some keys spinning on a podium, meaning you'd have to sort of spin them round to get to their barcodes and defeat them. There's also a load of expansion elements such as grass forests, a fishing minigame and another hidden item, as well as a castle gate to be broken into, a Chew to fight, a Lizalfos to fight, and a bombable wall to break down. As previously mentioned, we have NES Ganon in this model, who looks absolutely great. We've got a Choo Choo in blue, Keese, as well as a Lizalfos. And to be honest, this is where the Digi characters look their best. To be honest, all four of them here look absolutely fantastic. And I'd kind of like to buy these one day, you know, get the pieces for them, see what they look like in real life. Based off, of course, the Keese, I think is my favourite, looking like a swoop, of course, from Mario, but just using a big eye. Really translates this style nicely. And of course, not only that, you could put everything together, combining all the different aspects from all 5 customs to make an absolutely gigantic adventure. Such as, if we look close up, you can see this little forest area with a Lizalfos in an enemy encampment, into a mini dungeon where you have the mini boss now being Gleeok, as well as a couple of other encounters, to a reward in a treasure chest, explore the Great Seas with the King of Red Lions and the little bit of Zora terrain that we got, as well as continuing back through the forest to, in a sense, level 2, or I should say level 8 really, with the Ganon boss battle, which if you want to know the mechanism of how that works, it's really, really interesting, and trying to support the Mario system and make it something very similar, go check out the original video on the channel. However, there's one more person to introduce you to. This is Digi Zelda. Digi Zelda was originally planned as a second DigiLink wave that maybe we'll get to. The original design is on the left, however, once the reveal of Princess Peach happened, I just knew I had to remake her, and the newer and much improved design based off Twilight Princess is on the right. She looks fantastic, I really love how she turned out, and they make a great pair together. Of course, she has her own voice lines. Let's take a listen to some of the things she has to say. Princess Zelda of Hyrule, at your service. Let's go on an adventure. Link! I will not fail. For Hyrule! Take that! Ha! Ha! Ha ha! What a wonderful day! I think it's time we move on from this very cursed experience. Let's keep going at some of the other strange sets we've seen. Such as Z051, the Hero of the Sea Advent Calendar. I can't believe it's been over a full calendar year since this Advent debuted, and actually I really love this. This one's more focused on the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks era of Zelda, of course with a couple of other builds sprinkled in throughout based on the minifigures available at the time. Here are all of the brick builds that you'd seen without the days. Not only do we have a mini-game, such as a mini version of like a cannon from Wind Waker or Phantom Hourglass, you've got the 3 Phantom Hourglass fairies, a micro build of not only the Tower of the Gods, Linebeck's ship and the King of Red Lines, the Wind Waker post box, a pile of bombs, a workbench for the elf minifigures to make a Minish Link, who's technically also in the Toon Link style, of course the titular Phantom Hourglass in its pedestal, the hero's shield hanging on Grandma's wall, a Gossip Stone, presents, a micro build of the Spirit Train, and some pots with some rupees. But of course the main exciting draw for an advent calendar is of course the figures, and that included more Christmas variants of both Link and Zelda in elf forms, Linebeck in his Santa outfit, which was the choice for Hero of the Sea, a normal Lizalfos, a Chilfos with a scarf, who I named Chili Chilfos, a Christmas cookie Choo Choo variant, Chancellor Cole as a snowman, making great use of that minifigure head element I designed for him, the Black Pig that digs up a heart container on Outset Island from Wind Waker, and Stone Ganondorf decorated as a Christmas tree, still the most morbid figure we've ever drawn, and I've done a dead hand. Next up, we have some more parody sets designed for April Fools. This was EX002, the Ego, Nintendo, Legend of Lunk, Breath of Fresh Air, Imps, Ninja Mech. I think you get the idea. Zek003, Ego, Nintendo, Legend of Lunk, Breath of Fresh Air, Smelder's Sacred Gun Mech, and X0004 Ego Nintendo, Legend of Long Breath of Fresh Air, Stinkus's Blue Jet. If you couldn't tell, these are parody sets of the knockoff trend, which is just to take desirable minifigures and put them in mechs, and the design was to make them as unrealistic and stupid as possible, just like how a knockoff company would steal official designs or make weird parodies of existing licenses in this form. You'll see a load of inconsistencies between the 3 of them, some bad design, some poor grammar of course, as well as some just ridiculous designs. That being said, knockoff companies, if you're out there, please make this, I will buy them. Who wouldn't want Stinkus's Blue Jet and Smelder's Sacred Gun Mech in their collection? Please, someone make these. None of the pieces exist in these colours practically, but please, someone, I would love to buy and roast these in real life. Not to mention, of course, 3 figures included. Yeah, I'm aware the face prints are wonky. That's the point. They're knockoffs, so the faces always look weird, so I gave them all the bug eyes, and Impa's print is wonky because they don't have the good quality, and Link's will stare into your soul, and Smelder looks like she's been hit in the face. That's just these sets in a nutshell, really. Next up, though, going back in time just a little bit, we have EX001, the one you've probably never heard of. This is the Hyrule Champion Movie Maker, made as a little sort of gift slash crossover, I guess, for Hylian Bricks and the Hyrule Champion animation, of which I have a small role in, as you may know. This was, of course, an inspiration based off the Movie Maker sets that were released with the LEGO Movie, LEGO Ninjago Movie, LEGO Batman Movie, and the LEGO Movie 2. This one specifically based off the LEGO Movie 2 variation, where you get a stage, which would come with some nice backdrops of Hyrule and inside of a castle, as well as some scenery to be used. Now, I also included a couple of unique elements, such as a side stage, which has a facade which can be flipped around to either show a house, such as like the Hateno house from Link, or a Hyrule Castle corridor where you can play out the dramatic scenes from the animation, which you may or may not have watched. There were also lots of spin gears included to enact fight scenes, some special printed elements such as the tapestry from Breath of the Wild, a map of the Great Plateau, and a map of Hyrule in general, as well as I mentioned, loads of scenery to decorate the main stage as you're playing out your episodic battles in Hyrule Field, such as the battle with the Moblin, who is also included in this set. We also have a couple of other figures, though, of course. We have Breath of the Wild Zelda in her champion's tunic, as I'm going to call it, and her research outfit and her sacred dress, as well as the Queen of Hyrule, who features prominently in the animation. A load of enemies ranging from a Yiga soldier, a Moblin, a Korok, and who's not an enemy, and a Bokoblin in red, and then 3 special figures being Everett the Royal Guard, if you know, you know, Child Link, and then of course the exclusive figure for this set was designed to be Breath of the Wild Link in a director's outfit. You may be asking why he has tan hair, and that is because for a long time tan was the colour of choice for his hair in the world of LEGO Zelda Purist Customs, so it's a little Easter egg and a little nod back to the old Purist days, back before dark tan hair pieces were all the range, or medium nougat, whatever floats your boat. Next up, we have a couple of sets which you may well have thought had been in the custom set showcase. However, as they were not a part of the original plan, these guys do not fall into Wave 4 as the box art might suggest. This is the Arbiter's Grounds Dungeon expansion, and while it has a number of Z052, it is a standalone release set and a retail exclusive, therefore not part of Wave 4. As you may know, this is a more recent one and is featured off the Arbiter's Grounds dungeon from Twilight Princess and features all the different traps, spinner segments, Stalkins, as well as an opening and closing door to reveal treasure and a giant saw blade to represent the traps in this prison of the dead. However, my favourite part of this custom is by far the figure selection, figuring all the spookies from Twilight Princess into one, such as the Stalkins and Stalfos, the Fire Bubble, Poe and Redead, along with the TP Link in his scared form that we've seen so many times before, including in the Shadow Temple. Another of the Wave 4 sets which isn't actually Wave 4 is Take Back the Sea. This was an idea that I came up with in between and decided to do as a one-off set, as it doesn't quite fit in anywhere else. This set is based off Lurelin Village from Breath of the Wild, as well as the Aris Beach quest which Lurelin gives you, which is Take Back the Sea, to defeat this giant monster camp. It may be that I give this set a remodel in the Tears of the Kingdom style and change the monster camp for a pirate fortress. However, I do really love the build. Taking a close-up look, naturally it can be exploded like you can do in Age of Calamity, but also features a lot of interesting skulls and details, a couple of different food items for you to cook, such as the hearty blue shell snail and some crabs, a weapons rack for the enemies, and a treasure chest, as well as a lookout tower for the bow-wielding bokoblins. Of course, so the other half of the set is the Lurelin Village, and first up we included the treasure chest game, which has the infamous Korok on the roof, some ingredients in the yard, as well as some space for the sheep, and as an accurately working treasure game, which includes a diamond, a dud reward, and a sword for you to pick up out of the chests. The other house includes a canoe, a fishing station, as well as the rest of the ingredients to make the seafood paella, a seagull, and the palm tree coming up the top of this house with the palm fruits, not to mention a fully fleshed interior with a recipe sheet, a candle, a bed, and a couple of other details. A load of figures in this set, making it actually one of the biggest of all time. 2 sheep, silver bokoblin, black bokoblin, blue Lizalfos, and blue moblin, all of which, the last 2 of which are exclusive recolors. A Link in a custom outfit that a fan may have designed in Breath of the Wild, obviously using existing headpieces such as the Vo headband, the shirtless torso, and the climbing trousers. And he has a Korok frond made out of vinyl to go in the raft of this set so he can work his way out to Aris Beach. We also have a couple of the characters such as Cloyne and Kinov, and then Numa, and I forget the other lady's name, who's holding seafood paella, and these are all either residents of Lurelin or, in Cloyne's case, the operator of the treasure chest shop. Kinov is the woman's daughter, and they live in the same house together as well. Let's move on though to some other April Fool's sets. These are the 4 Duplo sets that released recently. If you want to learn more about these and why I decided to make them and what this Guardian is actually based on, go check out that video. But here we have a rattle designed for 1-year-olds, which is based off the murder machine of a Guardian, and it includes a champion tunic Link. We have the Korok hunting set, including a Korok build and champion Link, Link's bird based off Skyward Sword, and then the Windfish as well, including a variety of characters, subtly as a brick-built Windfish, a brick-built Loftwing, the one-piece Guardian rattle, and then a little camping setup for Breath of the Wild Link to go hunting for Koroks in the wilds. And most importantly, of course, the Duplo Links and how cute they look, so adorable. We move on to 2 last sets which have also been decanonized though, and that is the Tears of the Kingdom set. This one for a good reason, and the other one will appear later on, but for right now these sets don't have a wave to belong to. This first one is Calamity Cave Chaolapse, which is based off the 2019 trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, which of course most of you will know never ended up really taking place in the game, at least only parts of it did. So we have the Don Don creature here, which is removed from this sequence entirely, as well as a passage through the cave showing off the Ganondorf murals, a little campsite, as well as a bridge, and then a couple more features such as the ability to drop Zelda down a hole, position Ganondorf and rearrange these swirly patterns around him like a Lego dot set, and of course hide out and change the Link from his Raru arm to his normal arm. Here are the figures. We have dehydrated Ganondorf, of course, in his corpse form, looking scary as ever. Don't worry, these figures will still be used. We also have the Champion Leathers Link in both his cape form and then the form with the special Zonai arm, and then Zelda ready to fall down a hole as well. Don't worry, most of these figures will either receive updates or will be used in future sets. It's just that I need to redesign this set to actually fit the opening of the game, and we'll do that in our official Tears of the Kingdom wave. The second, of course, Tears of the Kingdom set that was released before the game is Battle Talus Takedown, and this set will be appearing in almost an identical form in the Tears of the Kingdom wave or in a future wave. However, for now, it does not have a home, so this one is a released standalone set for now, probably a retail exclusive, featuring a build for the Tears of the Kingdom car featured in the trailer, which is of course an Ultra Hand build, and then of course the Battle Talus from the game, and of course a load of Bocodons to go on the various fortifications around him. It's a pretty obvious set to talk about, so if you want to learn more about the special details and little Easter eggs inside that set, go check out the video. It wasn't released too long ago. Figure-wise, we introduced the new Tears of the Kingdom Horn Pack and redid the enemy heads, and of course I'll be upgrading that to actually fit the Tears of the Kingdom enemy scaling very shortly. We have 2 red Bocobelins, a blue Bokoblin, and the archaic tunic for Link, one of my favourite outfits from the game, and something I made in real life recently that you should go and check out because it's an awesome purist custom. That is actually going to bring us to the end of today's video though, and sort of finishes up our look back on every custom set we've done so far. I guarantee you, as I said, there's something in here that you probably didn't know about. It's most likely the Hyrule Champion Movie Maker. But these are some of the most quirky and fun things we had to do of. Hope you guys enjoyed the new VA lines for the Digilink sets, and I'd like to give a shout out to Harley and Bricks for providing some of the audio in the background there as well. And stay tuned on the channel for, of course, the Tears of the Kingdom customs coming very soon, working super hard on getting that wave together. You'll be pleased to know that at least 3 of the sets have been finished. Shock, horror, he's almost there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these sets as well as which one is your favourite down below in the comments, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.